Hey everyone, I'm Chef Merlin and you're watching Magic in the Kitchen. Today we are going to make matzah, also known as unleavened bread or communion bread. Now I make this just about every Sunday for our congregation, and it's very simple to make. A lot better tasting than the stuff you find in the box. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 cups of flour. To that we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of water. And as far as the olive oil goes, you can add anywhere from a half a tablespoon if you want it to be really cracker-like, to a tablespoon if you want it to be somewhat crispy but still a little soft, or as our group likes it, 2 tablespoons to make it nice and soft and fluffy. Now remember, this is unleavened bread, so make sure that you use all-purpose flour. Don't add any kind of leavening ingredients. We're just going to mix this up a little bit with a spoon. Now I usually like to keep a container of flour and some extra water on hand in case the consistency is wrong. Now once we get this mostly mixed up, go ahead and do the rest with my hands. This is looking like it's going to need a little extra water. I'm going to add a little bit more water in. If you're adding water, always add a tiny bit at a time because a little water goes a long way. In fact, I may have made it a little too watery just there. We'll find out soon enough. Basically, the consistency you're going to look for is something that's not too terribly sticky. If it's really sticky and kind of wet feeling, you're going to want to add a little bit more flour. And if it's really kind of dry and powdery feeling, you're going to want to add some more water. Once you feel you got about the right consistency, you can go ahead and put it on a mat. Now we're going to just kind of knead it a little bit, pushing it down, kind of folding it over and pushing it down, just kind of massage it a little bit. Really, there's no specific technique you need, and it's just mainly making sure that it gets all mixed through. And okay, once you've kneaded it, which can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, possibly less, depending on how good you are at kneading dough, go ahead and make a nice smooth ball. Now I go ahead and use a butter knife for this first part. We're basically going to split it into 6 sections. I use a butter knife for the first part to try and make the first cut as accurate as possible, to being half, and then each ball is going to get separated into 3 different ones. And then we roll this out onto some parchment paper, or as I'm using today, a nice little silpat. And you can use a rolling pin for this, or you can flatten out with your hands. If you use a rolling pin, just kind of do that. Use a little W shapes. Get as flat as you can. I'm going to show you real quick how to do this without a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, just go ahead and push it down like this. Now without a rolling pin, you're going to want to flip it a few times. It's going to want to curl up. And like I said, just get this as flat as you can get it. When that's done, we go ahead, we slide it onto a baking sheet. Poke some holes in it. This is to keep it from puffing up in the oven, because you can get some air pockets stuck in there and then puff up. If you ever had a pizza that had a big old air bubble in it, that's basically what would happen. We don't want that to happen to this. Once we poked holes in it, we go ahead and stick that into a 475 degree oven for about 5 to 6 minutes. Here's the finished product for the matzah communion bread. There you can basically see it makes up 6. When you take this out of the oven, you want to put it immediately on a cooling rack or onto a plate with a paper towel on the bottom so you don't get moisture leaking through. Hope you've enjoyed this and hope this inspires you to make communion bread for your congregation sometime. Please stay tuned for more videos.